Thank you. The style of music that I play is acoustic music, and I draw from several different styles that I'm fairly fluent with, and I'm influenced by all the music that I've listened to for 30 years. When I was a young teenager, I listened to the radio, a lot of pop and rock music that I was listening to. The first music I remember exploring as a young teenager was the early blues, the acoustic blues of people like Robert Johnson and Skip James. And from there into my mid and late teens, I got interested in jazz music, especially the Miles Davis Quintet, and also got into modern classical like Stravinsky and Bartok. I really loved that music.
My baby wrote me a letter, she didn't call me on the phone. Well, 5 little words was all she wrote. She said, "See you later, I'm gone." She had no explanation about why she had to go. Well, I can't take a joke, but I can take a hint. Well, she don't love me no more. Now when nobody loves you, you're feeling like dust on the empty shelf. Just remember, you can love yourself. My mama said she loves me, you know, she could be jiving too. And everybody's always criticizing everything that I do. We're from 9 to 5, do the best I can, trying to please my boss. I bought a big old house, bought a brand new car. Well, then he laid me off. Now when nobody loves you, you're feeling like dust on the empty shelf. Just remember, you can love yourself. Every time I meet a woman, I think I'd like to try to get to know. You know what I'm talking about. And she's too tall and I'm too small. Well, she's rich and I'm poor. So I call my old friend, old Hazel May, trying to ask her for a date. She said, "I'm married now, I got 3 little kids. You know, you're just a little too late." Now when nobody loves you, feeling like dust on the empty shelf, just remember, you can love yourself. So when nobody loves you, feeling like dust on the empty shelf, just remember, you can love yourself.
Right out of high school, I was exploring music. I had some extra money, and I used to buy a lot of records. And so I was doing a lot of exploring of music styles, and I came upon British folk music, specifically people like John Renbourn and Bert Jansch and Davy Graham. And there was a whole world of music there, so I picked up an acoustic guitar at that point. And even though I was playing in bands, rock music and blues-based music, on my own I would be home playing my acoustic.
as tame to the road, and straight to the north he'll steer. With his Speyside fiddle in his pack, yeah, he'll make a living, it's clear. He's well met with a peddler group and a chance to adjourn to the end. He's called for ale and he's ta'en up his pipe, and he's fearless, he casts the tune.
About Rick's music, I think he's very unique in his style. He does a style that most people don't do. He's taken a style of fingerpick acoustic guitar, like John Renbourn and people like that, that a lot of people aren't familiar with, and he's really made it his own. And I think it's very refreshing.
What that is it's a piece by a player by the name of Peppino D'Agostino. And for a long time, and to this day, what I like to do is to explore the cutting-edge fingerstyle guitar players. There's quite a number of them who've built on the music of the older players like Renbourn and like Leo Kottke, and players like Tim Sparks and Jacques Stoetsem and Peppino D'Agostino. These are players that are out there really composing for the instrument in ways that haven't been done before. A lot of players are taking on the ideas of Michael Hedges and doing their own forms of music with it, and it's really exciting to see what a lot of these players are doing. There's a lot of players that you can go listen to where it's like, wow, I've never seen that done before. I like to open my shows with an instrumental. It's quick, it's easy, it gets everybody involved in the guitar aspect of the performance. From there, it's just a matter of adding layers. You can add, from there you add vocals, from there you add different styles, you add different solo things, and you want to take people on a journey from the very beginning. So try to build an organic curve, and then take them, let them explore a little bit, and then bring them back home during the last few songs.
Let it fly, lonely cry, everybody's free. I will decide how I'll be tried, and freedom be the death of me. Build these walls around our brains and leave those prisons and our chains and hold on. I thought I had control, I tried, well now I would be satisfied to hold on. Tell me what to do and I will tell you what I say. My freedom will be measured by the lengths to which I disobey. Tell me where to go, and I'll freely tell you no, and then I'll hold on. But leave me on my own, and I will lock these shackles to my bones and hold on. Soul is what we want, and when it fades, we treat it like a burden, and the devil feels he's underpaid. Take that spirit door to door, finally it won't move no more, it just holds on. And the only thing that's really free is that little voice that's telling me to hold on. Yeah, freedom for the soul is what we want, and when it fades, we treat it like a burden, and the devil feels he's underpaid. Take that spirit door to door, finally it won't move no more, you say move on. And the only thing that's really free is that little voice that's telling me to hold on. Yeah, the only thing that's really free is that little voice that's telling me to hold on. Yeah, the only thing that's really free is that little voice that's telling me to hold on.
these days, songwriters are the big influence. I love to hear a guitar player that can really, a guitar player is not the, I like to hear a songwriter that has a good foundation in the instrument, who's not just, you know, strumming a certain way, but a person who can really delve into the instrument and use that to enhance the creativity of the songs that he's writing. The players that come to mind immediately are Bert Jansch, Richard Thompson, Bruce Cockburn. These are guys that have very, very strong guitar techniques, but they're also amazing songwriters.
Well, my favorite songwriter, I think, it changes every day, is a songwriter by the name of Richard Thompson. And I learned this song incorrectly when I first learned it, and then I corrected part of it, so I decided, what the heck, I'll play it again. It's called Beeswing. I was 19 when I came to town. They call it the summer of love. The burning babies, burning flags, the hawks against the doves. Well, I got a job in a steamy back on Caldrum Street, and I fell in love with a laundry girl was working next to me. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was a running wild, said as long as there's no price on love I'll stay, and you wouldn't want me any other way. Brown as zigzag across her face and a look of half surprise, like a fox caught in the headlights, there was animal in her eyes. She said, oh man, oh can't you see I'm not the factory type? If you don't take me out of here, I'll surely lose my mind. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, and I thought that I might crush her where she lay. She was a lost child, she was a running wild, said as long as there's no price on love I'll stay, and you wouldn't want me any other way. Busked around the market towns and picked fruit down in Kent, and we could tinker lamps and pots and knives wherever we went. And I said that we might settle down, get a few acres dug, fire burning in the hearth and babies on the rug. She said, oh man, oh can't you see that surely sounds like hell? You might be lord of half the world, but you won't own me as well. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing, so fine a breath of wind might blow her away. She was a lost child, she was a running wild, said as long as there's no price on love I'll stay, and you wouldn't want me any other way. Camped down at the Gower one time and the work was pretty good. She thought we shouldn't wait for the frost, I thought maybe we should. We was drinking more in those days and tempers reached a pitch, and like a fool I let her run with the rambling itch. The last I heard she's sleeping out back on the Derby beat, white horse in her hip pocket and a wolfhound at her feet. Say she even married once a man named Romney Brown. Well, even a gypsy caravan was too much settling down. And they say her flower is faded now, hard weather and hard blues. Guess that's just the price you pay for the change that you refuse. She was a rare thing, fine as a bee's wing. I thought that I might crush her where she lay, if I could just taste some of her wildness now, if I could hold her in my arms today, well, I wouldn't want her any other way.
When I see Rick perform, he's very open to the crowd. I think the one word that I could come up with for Rick's performance would be honest. He'll be playing and he'll be doing the most amazing finger-style stuff all over the guitar, and then he'll stop and he'll talk to the audience just like I'm talking to you now. And it's very open and honest, and I think people are very receptive to that, and it makes them really want to, it draws them in and makes them want to be there with him.
I want people, when they walk out of the show, to feel like they've heard something new and fresh. You know, they might have heard some music, you know, whether it be blues or jazz or singer-songwriter style tunes that they're familiar with, but if they're not familiar with some of the other styles that I do, I'd like them to feel that they really have not necessarily learned something, but just heard something new that they would be interested in, maybe even fascinated by. What that is it's a Hindu morning meditation melody, and it's fun to take little things like that. It's drawn from an arrangement by Davy Graham, one of the very groundbreaking acoustic guitar players, and it's fun to take a piece like that and use it as an intro to an entirely different style. The song I usually use to intro that song with is a song by Bert Jansch, and it's called A Woman Like You, which is a... So what I've done is I've found that common ground between two totally disparate styles, and you put those together in one song. And even during the song, during improvisational sections in the middle, it's fun to take another entirely different form and improvise, you know, between verses and things like that, which is a major part of what I try to do actually in a performance. Well, music's the only thing I've ever done that has really drawn me into, you know, totally into it. Well, I tell them stories about the songs, you know. In a lot of cases, I'm drawing from music that nobody's heard in a lot of the shows that I do. So they like to hear about the songs. They like to hear about the people that write the songs. They like to hear why a song turned out the way it did, where it came from, why it's, you know, why it's, say, a North African tune, or why it's an Eastern tune, or a jazz tune, or a blues tune. There's such a huge world with music. I mean, whether you want to study it intellectually, or you use it as the background of your life, or, you know, music can make you happy, it can make you cry, it can be a catharsis, it can make you want to dance. You can explore entire worlds in one or two musicians, or in one or two styles, much less the vast amount of sound that's being projected around us every day.